Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. This is Patty from PS Paper Crafts, and I wanted to show you how to make this pretty card for Christmas, Happiest Christmas Wishes. And the wreath I made just by using layering circles and the corrugated dynamic textured embossing folder, textured impressions embossing folder. So this is what I was featuring this week, and it's really cool because you can just use it as a layer, but you can also add some texture to shapes, which is what I wanted to do here. So let's get started. On the inside I have remembering you this season with warm thoughts and a wish for everything merry. Thought that was cute. And the sentiments are from the Dashing Deer. This is in the holiday catalog. So what I did was I took the layering circles and I took a scalloped edge to do the outside, and then so that's like the third largest, and then I did the smallest just straight circle. I was going to do the scalloped on the inside, but I just kind of left it as a you know, flat. So you could do it either way, whatever you wanted. Maybe we should try it and see what it looks like. Let's give that a try. Talked me into it. So what I'm going to do is get my, this is shaded spruce, and I'm going to lay these down. And I did try different sizes, and I thought this was too big, so I went with this one. And I'm going to just lay these down and try to center this in the middle. And then I'm going to put it through the embossing folder. So let me get my Big Shot out. Okay, and please don't judge me for my plates. I try to get the most out of them. Hopefully this is in view pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my first plate down. And then I'm going to get my green, my shaded spruce, and you could put a Post-it note or some kind of tape on this to, you know, washi tape or something to hold it in place if you wanted to. But I think I can get it just the way it is here. So I'm going to put my top plate over it, try to keep everything in place, and then I'm going to just run it through, all the way through. And then I'm going to leave one plate aside because this embossing folder only needs the one plate. And let's see how these came out. That is cute with that place. I guess I didn't get it centered perfectly, but I'll put the bow down here, so that's just fine. So let's get the embossing folder now. And what I'm going to do is put this aside. I'm going to just open this up so I have tab 1 showing, and I'm going to get my embossing folder, and I'm just going to put this inside. Yeah, I did do it lopsided, but that's okay. I should have moved the inside circle down if you could see, but when I put the bow there I don't think you'll be able to notice it. So I'm going to put this down, put one plate over it. This is one of those dynamic impressions, textured or dynamic textured impressions. I cannot say that for the life of me. You only need the one plate, and you'll notice that when you get this embossing folder, it's so much thicker. You wouldn't be able to fit it with 2 plates. So here's our little kind of textured wreath. So it gives you just more dimension and interest, I would say. So let me get rid of my Big Shot, get it out of my way, and then we can move on. So this was pretty easy to do, but look at what you get. It's pretty cool. So then I have this piece. This is 3.5 by 4.5. At first I just put this on the card, and I didn't like the red behind it. I mean, you could do that, but I wanted it to pop out. So I thought, well, let me just cut a layer and do my stamping with my sentiment right on the bottom of that layer. So it's a pretty simple card, but I think it really is pretty. So let's just do this. I always like to test it out, make sure it's not upside down, kind of get the line of it, and we'll get this all nice and straight, and just put it down toward the bottom. And then while we're stamping, let's do the inside sentiment. So this is cherry cobbler, if I didn't mention that, the red. And the reason I did the cherry cobbler was because I had some red twine or cherry cobbler twine. And I tried to, you know, see what I have on hand that I'm going to use an embellishment. Ooh, that came out kind of crooked. And then try to, you know, match my paper with it. So let me see how this goes. Yeah, see, I have to get the hang of how to get the bottom lined up. Okay. And I just got a little smudge on this, but that's okay. We're going to go with it. So I'm going to do it a little bit at an angle. I try to do it on paper to see how to match either a top or a bottom line. So, and I did get ink here, but I'm not going to do anything about that right now. I can replace the inside at a later date. I don't want you to wait for me to cut. So what I'm going to do is there's a little flower in this stamp set as well. And it's probably supposed to be a poinsettia type thing, but I'm going to do it in green just to get the green and the red together. And I'm just going to do 3 of them at the top, and then the same thing, 3 at the bottom. So that's my inside. And let's close up the ink. Don't want to get that in the way. So this is shaded spruce as well. And then the way I decorated this was I used some of this twine. There's this festive farmhouse cotton twine, and it comes in the very vanilla, and this is mossy meadow, and then the cherry cobbler. So I thought, okay, well, let's just go with the cherry cobbler. Just tie a bow, and let's try to get that on camera here. So we'll just tie it. I leave the length on it a little bit long until I have it on my card and I know how much I want. So we'll just cut this right there. So I've got my bow now, and I will put that on with a glue dot. And what I do is I just get a glue dot and I just kind of roll it around in my fingers and get it on the back. And then I'll put it on. Now this, you could see which side you want. They're pretty similar. A lot of times when you do embossing, you know, you have your embossed and debossed, but I think with this one it just looks the same. So we will then add these little berries to our wreath. And what I did to make the berries was I took some of my pearls, and then I took my cherry cobbler Stampin' Blend marker. So this is the alcohol markers, and I'm just going to just color right on this. You want to just color right over them. It's pretty cool. And I don't know, I'll do about 2 rows. And it dries pretty quick. You just have to be careful because on this kind of wax paper that these are sitting on, you might pick up some ink from that if you use, like I use my piercing tool to pick these up. So just be careful of that. I'm going to get this out of the way and just take my piercing tool and just pick them up and place them where I want them. Whoops. And just kind of, so I'm just going to pick up a bunch of them. Oops. It's always a game. And just put them here or there, as many or as few as you want. You could do the bigger berries too, or the bigger pearls, I should say. Oops. It's hard to do it in the valleys of this. Just press it down there. So whatever size you want, whatever amount you want. I like it when they flip over because then you can get it picked up here. So you'll see the end of my point is getting a little inky. So just be aware of that. And we'll do a few more. Whoops. So I just think this is really cute. And it is pretty simple. And I really try to just like, what do I have on hand? I have this ribbon in this color. I have the Stampin' Blends and Cherry Cobblers, so I could make my berries, because I didn't have any, you know, dots that really would work in this color on hand, so I made my own. Necessity, right? You need it, you figure out a way to make it. Not that it's that necessary, but just put one up here too. I think that might be okay. I think I can add more if I wanted to. So now I'm just going to put this together. And what I did was I put this down, and I think I'll put this down first because it is a little bumpy. So I'm going to just get my snail and place this in the center of my card. Just center it up here. And I think I'll get my inside done while I'm at it. Here's the bad side. And then I'm going to put this on with some dimensionals. And then I'll cut the bottom when I decide how long I want it. So I just use 4 dimensionals. The dimensionals, you know, it pops it up, but I think it's a nice adhesive for something that's a little bumpy from being embossed. So let's get this one off and one more. So see, it's pretty easy card. I like easy, especially if you're doing, you know, a lot of like Christmas cards or something. And just place that in the center. Then I'm going to just take my scissors and cut this. Okay, so there we have it. 2 cards. They're a little bit different with where the placement of the berries are, but I think they came out really cute and I like them. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. You can shop for any of these products at my online store at pspapercrafts.com. And thanks for joining me. You guys have a good day. Bye.